Hello there! Right here we got brand new snapshots as well as some new information about 1.19, including some insight about this big portal. Make sure you're subscribed and leave a like so you don't miss out on the latest news. First, we'll be looking at the new pre-releases. Then we'll look at the 1.19 Deep Dark stuff. So they came out with 3 new pre-releases for 1.18.2. These are to fix some prominent problems that were in 1.18.1 before they put all their focus into 1.19. In 1.18.2 pre-release 1, they announced that they're going to try to release the full release of 1.18.2 on February 28th. With this update came a new warning that will pop up on the main menu page for any computer running a 32-bit environment, as they will no longer be supporting this. They also updated the data pack version to number 9, and it's now possible to add in custom structures in experimental data packs. They also added so tags are now usable with the locate command, so if you make a custom biome with a special tag, you can now actually find that. Now the locate command can also locate specific things. So instead of locating just like a village, you can actually locate a desert village, including tons of other things. I got dolphin located, a vendor located. I notice all of these use the hashtag or the pound symbol, where the old structures still use just Minecraft. Another new feature is configurable caves. You can choose how dense you want the caves to be, as well as chaoticness. This is all through the roll-gen/noise settings. It also came in with configurable structures and structure sets. This is done through the experimental data packs, and the game will actually generate as well as store these. The dude said there is some side effects to these changes, including that dolphins will now more accurately choose the closest structure to go to, because they can choose between a shipwreck and a ocean ruins, including the Bastion remnant bounty boxes are now slightly more accurate to the shape of the structure. Now we'll take a look at the pre-release 1 bug fixes. There was a problem that despite structures like witch huts being in flat worlds, they weren't actually spawning in the appropriate mobs. It's also affected pillagers as well as guardians, and it's been fixed now. This next bug was actually reported by me. I actually completely forgot about that I made this bug report. But while I was working on a villager breeder design back in the day, notice if you move your player up out of a corner, you wouldn't directly move straight out of corner. Notice my character will move slightly to the left when I come out of the corner rather than going straight, and I really didn't understand what was going on here, but I just made a bug report. And apparently this part of the code was causing the problem, and now it has been resolved. They fixed it so rune portals will also be able to spawn inside of super flat worlds. Strongholds can now generate in custom worlds. Inside the server properties, by default, the level seed wasn't present, so they added that. When dual welding fireworks, actual particles were being produced by the wrong hand when flying with the Elytra. Those are all the changes for 1.18.2 pre-release 1. In the pre-release 2 snapshot, they came out with a new function, which is spleen density, which will allow you to express almost any type of function using a cubic spleen. A cubic spleen is the flowing between points, so that's not straight lines connecting each of the different points on a graph. They also came out with a few bug fixes, and these are all bugs that mostly came about because of these snapshots. The first one is now when you're in the main menu here, you can use your tab key to move throughout all the selection and even move down here to the copyright Mojang, and that actually lets you be able to select it without using your mouse, and this will take you directly to the credits if you guys didn't know. So I guess you could speed run to the end of the credits of Minecraft without even using a mouse now. They also fixed it so that strongholds will no longer generate in the void biome. The void biome is special where no mobs are able to naturally spawn here, and no structures are actually supposed to generate here either. If you tried to create a super flat world, it wasn't actually possible unless you used the preset option, and now it works once again. There was crashing occurring because of some changes to the generator settings. They also fixed this problem that came about in the snapshots, where fortress mobs were spawning outside of the actual fortress. Typically they had to spawn inside of the bounty boxes of the structures or in the entire fortress bounty box. There was nether bricks on the floor, but they shouldn't be spawning on the nether rack, so that's what they fixed. In the third pre-release, they came out with a bunch of bug fixes which I'll quickly go over before going into the 1.19 sneak peeks. They fixed a crash that was occurring because of an overstacked error in the Minecraft compound tag. They also fixed this problem where the console was spamming whenever you would join or create a world. When glow lichen or glowberries were being generated, they weren't actually updating the lighting nearby across chunk borders. The locate command was still not properly working in super flat worlds. They fixed this freeze that was occurring on super flat worlds when using the locate command to try to find pillager outpost. There was a bug with realms, so you couldn't double click to join a server. With the new custom structures in this snapshot, there was a problem that if you made a custom explorer map, it would cause the server to lag. Now let's look at some sneak peeks for the 1.19 wild update. Now King B-Dugs mentions that some people overlooked the use of Swift Sneak. I know some people complain because it has to be on like a separate pair of boots, so you end up having a lot of pairs. But I think it brings more to the game when you have different sets of armor for different things, rather than one that could do everything. Now one thing that accidentally got edited out in my last video is how this is useful in building. So with Swift Sneak 3 boots, and by aiming across and down 3 blocks, you can hold down right click as well as pushing forward, and you can easily build in 3 high walls. Japa, who works on the textures, is working on the mangrove tree textures. He came out with this clip here which shows the trees in their environment. This is early development. You can see how dense the mangroves are, and they are quite big as well. You can get that same feeling of kind of getting lost inside of them as if you're in real life. It did also mention that there will be adding some more stuff to the floors of these, as well as adding in water. We also see that we have the root blocks here, and the actual log blocks, as well as the leaves. The leaves kind of look like jungle, but they have more like the weeping willow look. There's also vines, as well as the propagules, which I believe will be used as the sapling to grow these up, which will make it interesting to actually farm these. It'll be interesting to see how these actually grow, and if you can use like bone meal on them, just like the other saplings. The developer Ulrich also shares this photo here, which it looks like a dog that is crossed with a parrot that's sitting on a player's shoulder. And he says he's working on something that isn't related to the wild update, but most likely some type of bug fix. Now, during my streams, we have been updating my Skulk farm from 4 months ago, so that not only will it produce the Skulk blocks as well as the veins and XPs, but it can also produce the Shriekers and the Sensors. And we noticed something weird with these trapdoors here, where the charges would be able to go through them, but they would actually get stuck out here. And B-Dogs retweeted this image showing what's going on, as when the charge gets into a block, it then checks the nearby blocks for non-full side. Then it's able to go that direction, and then find the next Skulk block or block that can convert, which makes the charge move into there, but then it's not actually able to go back towards the beginning, and instead is stuck over here. Now, in the last video, I showed how you can get into here and you can actually look at the different structures that make up the ancient city. Instead, you point out to me that if you go to the structure one, right here, there is something called portal, small portal statue. And I went ahead and actually loaded this up in Minecraft, small portal statue. And if we load it, you can see it actually produces a miniature size of the big one. You can see that this one has like the opening in the center, the opening there. You can also see like the little ears on both sides of it. And you can also see that just like the big ones that had the 4 redstone lamps in front of it, this one has 4 candles in front. Or the candles could just be a reference to all the candles that we see in this one. And this one is clearly called small portal statue, having the word portal in it, which is a good indicator that the reinforced deep slate is actually a portal. And in the concept art for the deep dark, back during the Minecraft live event, you can see that they were already showing the main shape of the portal, making it kind of look like a warden face. Because back then they did have some prototypes with a warden with little loopy ears rather than the antenna-like ears. And in this one, there's these kind of like teeth coming out of it. So maybe to light the portal, you have to somehow add these teeth in there. I'm really excited to see what exactly the portal does. And let me know what you guys think it will do. In other Minecraft news, the developers are looking for feedback in the recent Deep Dark experimental snapshot, and you can get the developers' feedback on the feedback.minecraft.net. There's a lot going on in there, which introduced a lot of new things, and I covered all the different secret things that we found in it in my last video, so make sure you check that out after this video if you haven't already. Now come join my Twitch live streams, where I'm updating my Skulk farm to also work for producing Shriekers and Sensors. Or check out this playlist where I designed a farm for every item in the game Minecraft, or this one all about weird things I discovered over the 12 years of playing this game. Thank you for all the support recently, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!